gonna be an exciting countdown. It's the Carl Cox special on Dance Department on Radio 538. Let's start out with track number 10.
Yeah, track number 10, 2002 when it came out, and the track that I signed from these guys called Thomas and Filterheads. I'm like, who are these guys, you know? But they just gave us a record for Intact Records at the time called Sunshine.
Big hit.
And it became massive. So for me, 2002, Thomas and Filterheads, this is Sunshine.
the countdown of 10 years global with my man Carl Cox next to me. A track from the year 2002, already 10 years ago. Thomas and the Filterhead, Sunshine. It feels like yesterday.
Yeah, I'll still play this record now today, Sunshine, and all the hands in the air, people crying, enjoying the big smiles in the faces, waiting for the beat to come back in and drop, and really still does the damage. I'm very, very proud of releasing that record.
Isn't that amazing? That music always, there are certain memories stay with you on a track. So maybe people heard it on Ibiza like 10 years ago, and now if you play it again, they're like being time-lapsed back into the year 2002. Maybe when they met their love and on the dance floor, they're married already, have children.
Yeah, I think when the record came out now, if it was 10 years ago, if they did make love, then their kids would be 10 years old.
The next track, Carl?
The next track, which was 2003, when this came out, and Umek was really making his mark on the techno scene for sure worldwide, and he did this track called Gatex, which was for me one of the most amazing techno records ever made.
In the midst of the global special with my man Carl Cox, who's running the business for years and years, and he just celebrated his Global 500 show. He did an amazing show at the Gashouder yesterday with the Amsterdam Dance Event, and we're counting down 10 years of global. It's a trip down memory lane. We already had the year 2002, the year 2003, so next up is the year 2004, and that will be number 8 on the chart. Carl, which one will that be?
Oh wow, now this is just amazing, this record. Basically, I heard this record when I went to Cocoon for the first time in ages, and this mix actually is by Tim Deluxe, so it's our British guy, making a very good remix of the track Alter Ego called Rocker.
It's 10 years of global at 538 Dance Department. It's Carl Cox next to me, and we're counting down. It's a trip down memory lane with 10 big records of 10 years of global. How does it feel for you? Like 10 years, is it the blink of an eye if you look back to the first shows?
Yeah, 10 years ago when I started to do these shows, and I never really thought that I'll get to this point, that we're now, making a countdown of all the most important records that we release over these times, or played on these times, that supported the music. And as you can hear, there's different sound in each record that we've chosen so far. And it's just important to give people a little bit of a history lesson of what got us where we are today in the sense of house techno music.
So welcome to music class, kids. The teacher today is listening to the name of Carl Cox. What's the next track, Carl?
The next track is actually a signing from Tokyo, which we had on Intech. His name's Hiroshi Ishida, and a track called Kinzani. And you know what? There's never been another record that's ever sounded like this, so enjoy.
years of Global at Dance Department, the special with Carl Cox. Later tonight, we'll be broadcasting the set that you did at Gashouder and Fatboy Slim.
Yeah, this was absolutely amazing.
He's mental.
Yeah, he played so well yesterday.
Cool, man. We're in the middle of the countdown, 10 years of Global. Next up is 2006. What do you got for us?
Oh yeah, 2006 was definitely a good year for techno music. This track's called Work It. It was definitely a Carl Cox tune. This is by Christian Smith and John Selway.
countdown. 10 years of global with Carl Cox, and we're up to 2007 now. What was the record of the year?
Yeah, the record of the year for me in 2007 was The Sound of Green Velvet. Now, he's made some amazing music, you know, La La Land's Destination Unknown. You know, the list is endless, but the record that for me that I always thought was a very cheeky record, a cheeky sound, and this is Green Velvet, Shake and Pop.
years of global, 10 years of electronic music with Carl Cox, 10 years part of the dance department crew as well. Green Velvet, Shake and Pop. Next up is the year 2008.
Yeah, 2008 was the year that Dubfire really made his mark on the house scene, techno scene. For him being outside of the Deep Dish moniker, this is where people now started to know that Deep Dish was Ali, you know. And with this, you just now know that there was a situation between Deep Dish, that there was a commercial side more with Sharam and a more underground side with Ali and Deep Dish, Dubfire, of what is now known. So when he got his hands on this mix by Radio Slave, he really did turn it out with this remix, and I still today don't think he's going to be making anything as big as this. Grindhouse is the track which we all know and love, and he really made an amazing marker at this time. So turn it up loud. This is going to get good.
global, 10 years at 538 and already show 500. That's a landmark in radio and music history.
Yeah, show 500.
A shout out to the guys from the radio department from Carl Cox, and we're up to the year 2009 already. So what was that track that Carl Cox played in the booth and the crowd went crazy?
Yeah, well, this is the sound of a guy called Len Faki, and he's been basically a major techno producer for many years, and I think he made his mark at this time with this track called Death by House.
midst of the Carl Cox Global Countdown. 10 years of Global and so many amazing tracks that we played already in this special. And we're coming close to the year 2012. It feels more confident here. It's the year 2010, Carl. A big track.
Yeah, wow. I mean, you get to this point now, you know, after the Millennium, 10 years. So I decided that I wanted to get back in the studio and start doing some remixing. And this came to me by a guy called Eric Powell, who runs a record label called Bush Records. And he said he thought it'd be a very good idea if I contacted Joey Beltram and remixed one of his records called Slice. I'm like, you can't remix a record like this. This is too good in its day. It was just amazing. But they were really up for me doing it. So I thought, okay, you know, I'll go in the studio and then give it a go. So I did the mix, we put it out, it became #1 on most dance charts, on all the trackingdown.com and Beatport, #1 in the techno charts for ages. I'm thinking, oh my god, this has really worked. And people at that time were like, when I was playing everywhere around the world, I had to play this record. So for me, it made a mark. For me also as a remixer, even in these times of 2010, to do something with Joey, and this is it. Slice.
And we're running the interview here. It's a morning for Mr. Carl Cox. He had a long night at the Gashouder, which was an amazing show yesterday. Global 500 celebrations going on with Fatboy Slim. And now we're counting down 10 years of Global and 10 years of amazing music. It's 2011, Carl. What was a track that you spin a lot in that year?
Well, again, now that I was known for doing some remixing, people know that I was working on my concept album, which was called All Roads Leads to the Dance Floor. The album is a concept album. You know, I had drum and bass on the album and a little bit of dubstep, Latin house, all sorts of crazy, wonderful sounds on this album. But I really wanted a techno version of a drum and bass track that I did called Chemistry. So we asked Nicole Moldova to put her magic dust on this record, and you know, the record was basically was created, which was 175 BPM. She managed to time stretch it down to I think it was 126 BPM, and she made probably one of the best techno remixes I think I've ever heard from a record that wasn't even a house record or a techno record. And all of a sudden we put this record out and it hit the charts #1. We got a award for the best remix that she did I think last year in Miami, and this was to be celebrated, of course, and she was very happy. She didn't know what she had done, but all the dance floors loved this record and her mix. So it's Carl Cox, me, track's called Chemistry, and it's the Nicole Moldova remix.
Dance Department 538 Amsterdam dance event going strong at the moment. And next to the man with infinite energy, his name is Carl Cox.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the thing. Always when I see you, you have such an amazing big aura filled with energy around you.
Yeah.
So what's the secret in that? Do you meditate in the morning at 4 o'clock or?
Yeah, there must be some sort of secret to my inner energy and strength. I think most of it is mental in a way that I've always approached life very positively, and I've always enjoyed going out, meeting people. I've always enjoyed being creative. I've always enjoyed the music. The music I think has been probably the utmost paramount in my life that's kept me young. I wake up and every day, happy in life knowing that I'm going to hear music in my life, and without it I probably wouldn't survive, but with it I am still here doing what I do and doing what I love.
I'm thankful to sit next to you today. So thank you so much for your time, and let's do one more tune. It's 2012. Do you already have a track that's strong for you, strong enough to put in the list this year?
Yeah, really, it's been unbelievable. I mean, Matthew B, which is aka Bushwhacker from the layout Bushwhacker fame, he's actually now going to go out on his own as a solo artist. They've just made an album between themselves after 6 years of being away from the last album, which had a hit record, Love Story, and but he's been doing his own solo projects under just Bushwhacker, and eventually he will be under the moniker of Just B. But he made this record called West Side, and he thought that I would like it, But when I played it out for the first time, I loved it. This was just wow, wonderful. I played it last night even at the Casado, and everyone was just hands in the air, a good moment, the works. And for me, this has been probably the most predominant Carl Cox track that I've played this year on all the festivals, all the clubs, and still playing it now. And this track's called West Side, but the actual mix of this is not the original. It's by Christian Smith and Weber.
Let's check it out. Thank you so much.
Thank you.